Welcome to Toggle Advantage. It's a D&D podcast where me and some friends, we're going to play some D&D, as crazy as that sounds. My name's Jim. I'll be the Dungeon Master, and I'm joined by some people, and I'm going to have them introduce themselves one at a time, but we didn't do a predetermined order, so we'll see who goes first. Go ahead and say your name, the race, and if you want, whatever you want about your character. So you could be like, my name's X, my character is this, and he does these things. So go ahead, whoever wants to go first.
I'll go first. Okay. My name's Mike. I'm Caucasian. I'll be playing a dwarf as my race.
Oh, sure, you'll be playing a dwarf.
I'm not sure I believe that you're Caucasian, Mike.
No?
You're looking pretty brown on that.
We've done a DNA test on my dad, so I do know.
The DNA proves it.
Caucasian. I'll be playing an artificer, so I'll be throwing potions. Should be a fun time.
What's your character's name?
Oh, that would probably be useful for you guys, huh? Tinkerer.
Maybe.
Tinkerer.
Your Tinkerer?
Your name's
The artificer.
Tinkerer. The dwarf.
Your name's Tinkerer, the Tinkerer.
All right, next up.
Nominative determinism, all right?
I'll go. My name is Walter, and I'm going to be playing a Faintalk Warlock. And a Faintalk is sort of a demon-born kind of race that we created, and he is basically a guy who is training to be a wizard and decided to take the short route and just make a deal. And my name is Iandos Baldorf because I want to make it nice and hard for everybody to say my name.
So quick interjection, this is a homebrewed campaign, so two homebrewed classes are the Faintalk and the Tross. Faintalk are taking the place of what would normally be like tieflings, because I didn't really want to use tieflings. They're a little more, instead of demon blood, they're a cursed bloodline, so they can be like blue, black, green, gray, brown, purple, any kind of weird skin color. They could be horny, they could be spiky, they could be, all the warty, they could be smooth, all that stuff in between, scaly.
Oh,
they're
I'm
just
horny
kind of the
and smooth.
weird. Yeah, I figured.
I'm
they're just
horny
kind of
and
the weird,
warty.
cursed race of the world. And then the Tross are just, again, kind of taken from the halflings, but a little different in the terms of they're the smaller humanoids, but they have a short temperament and are known for their sharp and strong teeth. They are quite literally ankle biters. And if we ever mention that, that's what's going on. And Dragonborn don't exist because I think they're kind of lame. Anyway, next up.
I think you're kind of lame.
Yeah, I know.
All right. Sorry.
No, go.
I'm Sam. I'll be playing a human druid.
So we didn't know what he was playing before right now. I knew.
We all made
but they
silent
didn't.
faces on this audio podcast. We're good. We're good, guys.
I really want to.
Feigned surprise!
I'm playing for the four of those guys. I don't give a damn about the people listening at home. I'm playing to entertain you guys. Oh wait, no, sorry, that shouldn't be what I'm doing.
I mean, it's fine.
I'm a gentle old man. I have a lot of love in my heart, and my name's Percival Lindalian.
Okay then.
Cool. And I'm Chris. I'm going to be playing Jakalvir Smackwist. He's a gnome, hence his crazy name.
What was that?
Jakalvir Smackwist.
And you're going to make me say that every time I address you?
People that are properly introduced to him call him Juke.
Juke.
Much
Oh,
easier.
that's so much easier.
And he is a rogue. And does typical rogue things and is a memberhood of the Brotherhood of the Wind.
A memberhood of sad, you say. All right, so that's everybody. Let's get started. So, the Woodland Wars have been going on for as long as anybody can remember. And they have left the world ravaged and wrecked beyond belief. Even now, the temporary ceasefire, the tensions are high, and conflict is just on the horizon. The younger races have grown up knowing only war, and people have learned to survive by any means necessary. All this fighting has paved way for gangs, looters, pillagers, thieves, and all sorts of criminals to make an easy living. But naturally, to the rest of the world, this didn't sit too well. So Becrisens became the way of dealing with it. The greatest and worst prison was known as Hell's Gate. Originally, it was one of the greatest dwarven cities ever built, a magnificent work of architectural design and defensive strength. The city under the mountain was said to be impenetrable by outside forces, and the half-a-mile tunnel to enter, lined with doors, traps, and plenty of guard posts. Dug out below the depths, they decided to build the largest prison ever, which they called the Pit. So deep that it had a letter for the alphabet for every floor it went down. That's 24. And
Wait, what?
each floor, it's not 24.
There are no G's in this world.
Exactly. We took out a letter of the alphabet. Doesn't exist. It's 25.
This is our ool. Notice there's no P in it. Let's keep it that way.
Yes, exactly. The facility was named a neutral party, meant to hold any and all who could go there, and thus the Orcish tribes and half-Orcish tribes were named the Protectors. This made it an excellent place for not only criminals, but prisoners of war during the Woodland conflict. But, unfortunately, this also became overcrowded soon, and jailbreaks became rampant, and overpopulation became a real problem, and they were forced to abandon the city and lock it off to the outside world. Now the whole city stands as Hell's Gate. The last step, period. Your life's over when you enter. And we're going to start in a prison far, far away from there. A tiny little prison in a tiny little cell with a tiny little person. And it has all the amenities a tiny little cell can have. It's got a nice plush blanket, nice soft pillow. Looks like there's a plate of food that was eaten nicely. And everything's just so nice. And your good friend Juke is woken up by loud raps on the bars as a guard wakes him up. Hey you! You're getting transferred! Wake up, be ready to go in 10 minutes.
Oh. All right. I'm going. Just
Cool.
gets up, starts rubbing his face.
Little quicker
Checking.
would be nice.
He's gonna do a quick pat down on himself to make sure none of the guards snuck anything off of his person that I've mentioned to you beforehand.
Nope, your body is ready,
Okay.
so to speak.
Jukes will stand up, give a wry little smile as he is wont to do, and as he stretches and scratches, he pulls down his tunic to make sure that his tattoo of the wind spirit is seen on his collarbone, and then steps forward.
Right, hands out.
He'll stick his hands forward through the bars, I guess.
He pushes the hands back through the bars and cuffs them on the other side. Opens the door and starts to lead you out.
Oh, you want to do it the hard way, huh?
Yes.
Is this one of those white collar prisons? Are you gonna like walk down and see like Martha Stewart in there or something playing tennis?
You see a
I don't know.
small,
Is
elderly
smuggling a
woman
white-collar crime?
playing some type of ball-type racket sport. No. So you're taken and you're escorted out, and he looks at you and just gives you kind of the, hope you enjoyed your amenities here. They ain't gonna be as nice where you're going.
What do you mean? Where am I going?
Oh, let it be a surprise. Caravan's right here. And he hands you to this big, gruff-looking half-orc. Looks like he's half-orc and other half-orc, but he's not orcish colored. It looks like his dad was probably some type of Goliath and his mom was some type of orcish Goliath, so he's just a massive, muscled, veins sticking out of his forehead individual. And he just kind of grabs you, almost carrying you because of your size, and he doesn't really feel like bending down that much, and chucks you in the back of a wagon.
Hey! Don't you know who I am?
And he closes the back.
He's a charismatic fellow.
Yes, he is. In the back of the
Note
wagon,
of that.
you see 4 other prisoners chained up next to you. And there's a spot on the other side where it looks like there's 4 new spots for people to sit down and enjoy themselves. One is another brutish half-orc with a kind of dopey expression on his face. One is a rather greasy-looking human. Another is a almost timid-looking elf maiden. She looks like she's got some type of soldier's garb on. And the last is a very extravagantly dressed half-elf. They all kind of nod at you. It's a little early, and they're not really caring too much about what's going on.
He's just gonna find an empty spot and kind of take up as much space as he possibly can at 3'2".
It's a lot of space. All right, and after a few minutes, they kind of like... Nobody really wants to talk still. And you hear the whips go, and the caravan starts moving. It is not a comfortable ride, and it is a slow ride, and it is a bumpy ride. And you're on the road for a while. After about maybe 3 or 4 hours, the silence is finally broken by the very extravagantly dressed elf. Half-elf. Correcting myself. So, what are you in for?
Me?
Yeah, you. I know their deal, not yours.
You know, bit of this,
No, I don't.
bit of that. You get around.
Bit of what and what exactly?
He's gonna lean forward and be like, you know, big wink. Just a little, goods.
Still not too clear on what you're saying, no.
I mean, I may or may not have been involved in said transactions of possibly, let's just say, things fell off the back of a carriage and they found themselves in another shop.
You're pretty vague. I like that. I like that. Anyway, my name's Tip. These guys, I don't know their names because they aren't talking much. So,
I'm Juke.
Juke, that's a cool name.
Yes.
Is it short for something?
Yeah, it is.
Neato. Anyway, so, yeah, nice to meet you. Maybe these guys will talk. Do you know where we're going?
No, I was wondering that. I was actually in a nice, comfy little prison, considering what I've done, and really not looking forward to going somewhere new.
Yeah, well, you know what they say.
No, I don't.
Oh, well, done. Anyway, I'm gonna get some shut-eye, and with that he kind of brings his cap down and leans his head back.
Alright then.
And your caravan continues on. About 6 hours later, you get to a point and it stops.
Dying
You hear
of boredom.
some rustling outside. Yes, it is a very, very boring ride. You know, if there were tumbleweed able to go inside of the cart and outside of the cart, there would be tumbleweed.
I hope I'm in this next scene.
You hear some rustling outside. You hear it sounds like they're talking about escorting a prisoner, and you hear kind of, "Yeah, I know he's old. Doesn't matter. Just get him in there." And after about 4 or 5 minutes, the back door opens up, the flaps open, and they bring an elderly-looking man. Do you look elderly, Percival?
Yeah, I've lived a long life in this here world of ours, so yes.
They bring a long life-lived man into the back of the cart, and they sit him down. They actually chain him next to you, and then they chain you to the floor in the seat you're sitting in.
Oh, come on, man.
Sorry about the smell. The last place I was at wasn't quite as nice as this dank carriage.
The big brawny orc just kind of looks at you and just gives you the... He just exits. Slams the gate close. Does the flaps.
Did he pick you by the scruff of your neck, too?
He got me by the scruff of my human neck. Do you know what a human's neck looks like? Take a look at this thing. All wrinkly.
Huh. That's kind of gross.
Typical human neck.
That surely is kind of gross. So what's your name, new friend?
Percival Lindalian.
Percival Lindalian. That's interesting. I thought I heard Percival outside.
Depends on
It's
how people want to
crazy
pronounce it.
how listening skills are different when you're inside of a cart.
I don't like to correct people, okay? Someone
You know
reads
what?
my name off a piece of parchment, says it wrong. I'm not gonna be on their nuts about it, okay?
Fair enough. Not trying to start anything. So what are you in for, Percival? Lindalian?
The tragedy of my life, and what the hell's your name, by the way? Hold on, wait, why are you grilling me? Who are you?
My name's Tip.
Well, let me
Short
give
for
you a
Tip Top.
tip. Let me give you a tip, buddy.
Okay.
Maybe less with the questions, unless you do want to start something.
I'm just trying to make conversation. It's a pretty boring ride, but to each their own, friend. Or not friend, whatever you want. Old
Yeah, this wooden bench is doing
nut
something on my
scruffed neck
ass.
human. Yeah, I can imagine. You're pretty tiny. It's a pretty big bench. I mean, I guess you could, like, lay down, but I don't know.
Yeah, but every
if that-
bump just sends me up into the air, and the chains bring me back down.
Understandable.
You think it's bad? Imagine having an old human ass. Do you want to hear? Do you want to see? Have you ever seen one of those before?
No.
There's no padding.
Can I get a
I
switch?
can't say I have, actually.
All right, take a look.
As you
sit
get up,
somewhere
you
else.
hear a whip crack, and the thing starts to go, and it's very bumpy. Kind
Sorry,
of knocks
sir.
you back on the proverbial ass cheeks.
Just when I was trying to get friendly.
Darn. So, looks like you guys are traveling through the night as a couple hours go by, couple more hours go by. They stop at one point, they take you all out, they chain you to the side, and they let you take a break and drain the water snake, so to speak.
They haven't fed
No
us
privacy.
anything. Or giving us any water.
This is where they feed you and give you water, and it's very basic, kind of old, stale bread and just like a cup of water, or water skin of water, if you will. It's definitely not appeasing, and if you gotta go toozy, you gotta go toozy in front of everybody else. Which,
I get to go toozy in front of everyone else.
yeah, you do, if you want to.
Old stale bread, huh? This reminds me of part of my tragic history I'd rather not talk about.
Great! And they escort you back into the carriage, lock it up, and it's on its way. Couple hours into the next morning, the cart pulls over. You don't really hear anything this time, but after a few minutes, the gate opens and a different-looking half-orc lets in a small dwarf. And he just looks at you, and he whispers something to the small dwarf. And you can make a perception roll to try and hear what he says.
Yeah. Perception. 11.
Got an 11, and would anybody else like to make the roll? And by anybody else, I mean our good friend Percival.
Yeah, I
So if
think
you
I'll
go to
get
your
off.
character sheet, there's a perception, and you just click the word, and it'll roll it.
All right, I'll get off my duff and do that.
Dang it, why do I gotta be last?
Because I hate you the most.
Dang it. That might make sense.
All right, he just grumbles something incoherently, and I will whisper to Mike what that is. As the dwarf is let in and chained up to the side.
Okay, whoa. Can we swap spaces, the old man and the dwarf, please?
I feel pretty comfortable right here.
Kind of looks back. No. Drapes come down.
Well, hello.
Hello there. So what you in for? What's your name?
Tinkerer is the name.
Really?
And what do you do, dare I ask?
You'll never guess.
Dwarves are so damn
You're a butcher.
I'm a tinkerer.
Mind blown.
I
Dwarf names,
tinker-
not too clever, are they?
No.
Sorry, I was intently listening to that whisper that happened a few minutes ago.
How weird, since it was to you. It
Takes
makes
the
sense.
ears
that
a
you intently
while.
whisper. Yeah, of course. Piece of crap.
Let me guess, your last name's Copperbottom or something?
Oh, I'm not allowed to say my last name anymore.
Interesting. Well, this
What
is
Is it
Sounds like you
profane?
tinkered with something you shouldn't have tinkered with, and now you're on some sort of list, huh?
Can't tinker much at the moment.
Can't tinker with those airplanes anymore, that's for sure.
Do you know where we're going? Tinker?
I may have some idea. That guard, he whispered something about a large hole in the ground or some such nonsense.
What?
Large hole? Ground?
We're not... I mean,
they're just gonna.
they're just gonna kill us.
Don't think so.
I doubt they'd go through the effort just to murder us and throw us in a pit, but
That's an awfully long cart ride. Actually,
yes, it is. And with that, and
Jim, actually, based on that, how long we've been in here, can I make like an intelligence check or something to figure out since I knew where I was to start with, maybe where we're going or where we are?
You can make a history roll, sure. Based on
13.
context clues and your knowledge of the game world, you know that you're in a cart and it's traveling along a road.
Ah, son of But I
yes,
was in
a
the-
road. He did say something about a road.
I was gonna say I did start in my city before, right?
Mhm.
Okay, cool.
It's quite a ways.
Yeah, it's far.
So once again, you guys are back on the trek. It's taking a while. You know, everybody's kind of just twiddling their thumbs, shaking their chains, napping. That's about the...
Does anybody have
most of what
playing
you can do.
cards?
No.
Dice.
We could do shadow puppets.
I have a stick.
It's a dog. He's got a stick.
If we break the stick into pieces, we could spit on it and make dice.
I'm not doing that. I have to say, it is kind of comforting to know I'm finally going to end up in that big hole I've been waiting to eventually die in. After this long, weary human life.
You're a really weird old man. You know that?
Yeah. Also, my dad's probably older than you.
Very morbid, too. Very morbid.
Humans
So,
are
when
weird.
you've been around this globe, as long as I have, you pick up some strange tendencies. I'll tell you that.
I feel like I should ask how long you've been around.
Nah,
He's
that's
gonna
alright.
say
But
like
I
20 or
won't.
some shit. He's gonna be
But I
like 20
won't.
years old, I swear.
Probably like that. It's fun.
20
And that's-
human years. How many is that in? What are you again? I'm sorry. It's dark in here. My eyes.
Half elf. I'm
Okay.
half elf. Pointy ears. 5 o'clock shadow. Half elf.
I
Dead
can see the
giveaway.
20 years.
Yeah, well, it's not like they're hidden. That's why I pointed them out. Pointed the points. Okay.
I mean,
Well, good
I'm
night,
35.
old, morbid, weird dude. You're 35?
yeah.
You're tiny.
Percival just went to sleep. For
I'm
those who
amazed
are
you
not
could
watching
Gonna,
on
like-
YouTube.
Try to push him
Bumpy.
away from me.
I'd like to point out that I'm leaning more on you now.
So, he smells just a little bit.
Tinker, can you help? Get him off me. My tiny wrists.
Tinker is busy
Oh,
tinkering.
my apologies. Lost in thought once again.
God, I can't
After a
sleep when that
couple
Tinkerer
hours-
guy is talking. Sorry, that Tinkerer guy, whenever he talks, I just can't sleep. Something about that voice is just like a knife in my brain. But I'm sure we'll grow to be great, fast friends.
I'm sure of it. Nothing bad will happen to us. That's why we're
Stop.
not all chained to the ground in a caravan that we can't escape from, surrounded by disgustive orcs and half-orcs. It's great. It's fine. Anyway, I think I'm going to take that advice and take a nap. And so the caravan continues on its way. You guys may be making some idle small chat, keeping the old man awake or not, and one of you acting as a pillow for said old dusty head.
I'm gonna knee
Rest
him in
his
the crotch
dusty,
if he
gross
leans on
body
me.
Respect your elders. Come on.
He smells bad.
About midday, you're given another break. They let you all out. You can do your onesies and twosies. You can get your stale bread and water. And after about maybe 10 minutes or so of your break, you're escorted back in, rechained to the ground, and it continues. About another 2 hours from that, the caravan stops again.
I hope it's a
Nothing
sexy
important
dame.
happens.
Ah,
I'm just kidding. And after a few minutes, the back opens, and a Faintalk stands in the way. Looks like he's a little more dazed than everybody else that came in. And what do you look like, Sir Faintalk?
I wrote this down somewhere. I'm average height. Well, I guess I'm a little tall. I'm like 5'10", maybe. And I have tightly curling ram's horns coming off of my head. My skin is kind of a reddish brown, like a maroon. And my eyes are completely silver. Like, no pupils, nothing. just silver eyes. And I have a tail.
And he is kicked into the cart and shackled down in the last seat. As you guys now have a full cart of people. And the door slams shut, curtains close, and he starts walking away. The cart.
I'm in the story now, guys, and I have so much to say.
I was gonna say, what kind of tail?
Well, it looks like we're all filled up, so what's your name?
My name is Yandos.
And what race are you? I've got some allergies.
Very funny. I'm a Fane Talk.
Jukover's gonna lean forward at this point and be like, I know you.
Hey, Juke.
Hey, yeah.
I guess they finally got you, huh?
I mean, it wasn't bad. It was pretty cushy the last prison I was in.
That's good. That's good. Does anyone know where we're going now?
Beats me.
No, we know a hole in the ground is one possibility.
I mean, we're being taken pretty far. It's been a while. I haven't eaten much.
Finally, the greasy-looking human speaks up. How about if we just sit quietly the rest of the ride and don't keep talking so I can get some shut-eye?
There's nothing else to do.
Exactly. I would rather do nothing than listen to you people.
Hey, I will have you know, I'm a very important. I am a mildly important person.
See, that's what we
Clogs,
call.
the big Dofi guy. Just demonstration. He rips out his chains from the ground and just walks over to you and just gets really close and goes, "Ugh! You should not listen to what he says. Oh, I broke it. Dang." And he sits back down. He starts kind of trying to shove the things back into the bottom of the cart.
Just gonna squish back in my seat.
So, silence. Nice at last. Idiotic people.
The
Well.
pit! That's what it was, right? Pit.
What?
Hole in ground. Pit.
Still tinkering with that clue, Tinkerer?
Takes me a while sometimes. Fumble the old
Is that
thoughts.
the actual name of the prison that we would know? The Pit?
It's a name that you might recognize. It hasn't been used for years.
The
So you
Pit?
can make a history roll.
Okay, I'll make a history roll. I think my character would probably know about it.
You
'Cause I
definitely
read-
know about it.
I've read a lot.
Yeah. DC's not hard for you. You know they're talking about the pit. The one pit that is also related to a prison is the pit in Hell's Gate, which is now just Hell's Gate, the entire prison city. So you know you're pretty boned, but not in the good, happy
Wait.
boned way. In the
Are
sad,
you telling me
sad boned way.
So
Are
it's
you
not like the
telling
last
me-
person.
that they're taking us to the pit, as in the pit in Hell's Gate?
Is it a hole?
It's not. Well, I mean, a little bit, but it's a whole city inside of a hole. That's basically a death sentence. Once you go in there, you don't come out, and you just live in a prison for a little while. For the rest of your life, not just a little while.
Shouldn't be long for me.
Fun.
Well, I guess we can just hope not, right?
Yeah,
Yeah,
let's
maybe we
hope
should
not.
maybe we should get out of here before that happens.
That's a great idea. It looks like Oafing McOfenstein here can break the cuffs as he's still trying to shove the broken like nuts and bolts back into their place. What? Yes, never mind. And the car continues on.
All right. Well, yeah. Would this totally derail the podcast if we tried to escape right here, or do you have a Deus Ex Machina to get us back in there?
What do you think?
Well, let's find out.
Deus Ex boot in
I'm
face
gonna
from
say,
how many
alright.
guards outside that we don't know about?
I don't think there's any good libraries inside of that prison, so I say we try and escape. What do you all think?
So what's your plan?
This isn't quite my stop. I'll wait.
I want to get out. I want to breathe a free man's air again.
Yeah, I'd rather not go to Hell's Gate. Thank you very much,
You-
but I don't have anything on me, really.
You break our chains so that we're free to go. We open these doors. I'll create an illusion of us being inside of the cart still, and we try and kind of silently roll out the back as the cart is going on. And hopefully no one is looking behind us.
I'm gonna point out that breaking the chains is gonna be really loud.
He broke his chains and no one came back or anything.
What do I get out of this?
You get to not go to Hell's Gate.
Yes, but I've got the 4 chains on my side, and the 4 chains on your side. So for me to escape with that excellent plan, all I have to do is take out the 4 chains on my side. Why should I do your side?
Because then I won't create an illusion and they'll start looking for you almost immediately.
Fair point. Clogs?
Huh?
Rip them out, please.
Okay.
And about the 3rd one he gets, which is their whole side, you hear, "Hey! What's going on back there?"
Oh, sorry. Old man human stuff.
As the cart stops, the back gate opens,
Oh, pretend to be
and the
asleep.
very big, strong, muscles on muscles half-orc, or half-orc, stands in the doorway, kind of gives a look, goes over. Nobody's moving at this point. Forcibly sits Clogs down, places the thing on the ground, and just stamps it into the cart, and just keeps stamping it until the metal actually bends, as if being forged by, like, a hammer. Don't do that again. And then he turns to walk away and turns back, and he just backhands the dude, and he slams his face and dents the bars behind him, and just starts bleeding from his basically orifices in his face area. Closes the gate, jumps down, closes the curtains.
That was an impressive display. You know how strong you must be to bend that metal?
Really strong. He hurt me.
Quite.
Could have gone
That
worse.
guy was terrifying.
Well, does anybody else have a plan?
No.
Yeah. I'm gonna sit here for a while.
Great plan.
I'd rather not burn the cart down, so no alternative plan.
About 4 hours go by as you guys continue, and you're taken outside for a potty break. As you're taken outside, you can now get a pretty good look at the cart. You guys have made quite a few stops at this point. These aren't the only stops you guys have made, but these are the stops relevant to your cart. Looking down the line, it is a pretty long caravan now. It looks like you guys aren't the only prisoners being escorted there.
Mhm.
There's maybe 5 or 6 carts in the whole caravan, and there are probably 2 guards for every 1 prisoner. So it's just scattered half-orcs everywhere. It's a gross display of just half-orcish might.
There's like a whole army coming guarding us.
Not a whole army, but it's definitely could be considered a mercenary band or a group. Not something you wanna try and fight. Put it that way, in layman's terms.
Jim, at this point, how long has it been since I was taken out of my cushy prison?
This is about the end of the 2nd day.
I think
Are we,
I need
like-
to make a sleight of hand check when I go to the bathroom.
Are we chained together? How is this working?
You are all chained together. So when you exit, it's each person on each side of the caravan is chained to each other, legs and hands.
So us 4 are chained together.
Mm-hmm. And in the front person, which would be you, Yandos, you have kind of 4 or 5 links coming off where they can grab onto and kind of lead you like a dog. And they make sure to chain that outside the cart so you can do your number 1s and 2s.
What kind of clothing is Percival wearing? Is it like a robe?
I'm letting it blow in the breeze.
Okay, cool.
I'm gonna.
Juke is going to carefully try to like use your cloak as cover when he uses the bathroom, and he needs to make a sleight of hand check, I think.
Are you going out and in?
Yeah, he's gonna make. He can't hold it forever, and he's
Okay.
got something.
So for everybody else, Juke had the marvelous plan of hiding something in between two glorious cheeks. And now it has been 2 days, and he has to use those cheeks. So he's going to attempt to keep that object hidden. So go ahead and make a sleight of hand check.
I will. Sleight of cheek.
Slight of cheek.
Oh!
There you go.
Very nice.
Got
cheese.
something brewing down there, little guy?
This food isn't agreeing with me.
Amidst
We should say what we rolled.
He rolled a 24 sleight of hand check as he successfully exits and enters said object safely. Well, safely. We'll just leave it at that. Keep it PG as possible.
Yeah. Wiping my hands on the
However, your
ground.
hand is now covered in some less than satisfactory bodily fluids.
That's the case in every society that hasn't invented toilet paper yet. Wiping
Alright,
it on the
I'm gonna-
grass and dirt to clean my hands.
I'm gonna look at you guys and say we should definitely try and make a break for it. Are you guys with me?
Yeah.
Can I do a quick head count of said guards?
Is there an area? Are they all surrounding us completely?
Fairly. But
Is
as you
there-
say that, the greasy-looking the greasy-looking human kind of looks to the big oafish guy, kind of shrugs and goes, "Why not?" And he lifts up his chains. They break. Clog breaks his trains. And
I
they
make
start
a
sprinting
thaumaturgy
away.
check before, hopefully, as they're breaking it, to make a giant explosion sound in the other direction.
As they run away, you realize they did not break your chains, as it's just them two running
Well,
away.
I'm still on these guys, right? I'm not connected to the other four.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna use thaumaturgy to make a loud explosion sound in the other direction, as if there's like an attack coming, and then be like, "Come on, guys, let's go!" And I'm gonna start running.
A loud crackle of explosive, almost thunder, appears on the other side of the cart. A couple half-orcs turn. I'm gonna make some rolls.
Oh my god, a couple? A few? He just rolled, alright, for everybody who can't see our Roll20 screen, he just rolled like 30, 36 dice.
I'll say you not all those are relevant, and some of it might just be for dramatic effect.
There's a lot
But
of
the
dice.
first one is a natural 20. So as they run away, you see a very large, muscle-bound half-orc turn the corner, very nonchalantly grab a hand axe, heft it in his arm,
I'm gonna...
throw one, heft another, throw the other, and the two people running find axes embedded into the back of their skulls as their bodies fall limp onto the ground.
I
Did you guys
instinctively
start
fall prone on
running
the
at
ground
all?
with my hands over my head.
Oh, I'm running.
Did you three run at all?
No.
Well, me and Pierceval started running. So
All right, well,
do
make
we
a
just,
grapple roll.
Do we trip them over?
Can
Yes.
you-
Start
can
dragging
you
them
drag
because
a
they're
dwarf?
small people.
Make a grapple check for 2 versus 2. So everybody make athletics or acrobatics rolls.
I rolled a 11. Not very good.
Oh, if Percival actually grabs me, he can just grab me.
7 acrobatics.
Okay, Percival.
All right.
A 6, and Juke.
Uh-oh.
I was saying he doesn't resist being grabbed because he doesn't want to be dragged.
Well, since
Well,
you
we're just
all
dragging. We're
fail
not
them,
grabbing. We're just running and
Oh,
dragging.
okay.
you all kind of
I
get the
just
idea. And he rolled a 7.
Yeah.
You all kind of get the idea to run. Percival goes one way, Yandos goes another, while dragging the other two, and you guys all just kind of
Just trip and fall.
disperse, trip, and fall onto the ground as he turns the corner and axes the two guys. He takes the smallest of you, which would be you, Juke, grabs you by the scruff, and lifts you up, forcing everybody else's chains to be lifted up by your scruffness. Probably
That
ripping
hurts.
out some of the short hairs on the back of your neck. Stands you up and just looks at you. Go bury them.
With what?
Go
You got
go
hands.
bury them. Who do you think what?
Shut up! Shut up!
He just looks at and slaps you across the face. I'm gonna talk to myself now. I don't have that macro. Take 6 points of damage from the slap.
I was gonna say take 18 points of damage and make a new
God.
character.
All right, let's go bury these guys.
I've buried some bodies in my time. You get used
He
to it.
takes your chain, undoes it from the cart, grabs the little collar, little leash he's made for you, and starts dragging you over to the 2 dead bodies. When you get there, he plucks his axes out of their skulls, wipes them off on the grass, holsters them. Go ahead.
I am gonna start digging with my hands.
I guess I got nothing else.
Might as well.
You guys all get on your hand and knees and you start digging.
It's always saddest to see another human dead.
If
Start
only
digging.
if only someone had some sort of earth using rending spell that they could cast.
Yeah, fine.
I don't know what you're talking
You don't have to. You could force us to dig with our hands.
Yeah,
Does he have
I
his-
like to...
Does he have his focus though? Because if he doesn't, we were SOL.
That's I'm enjoying spending some time with you guys. I'm enjoying communing with the earth personally and making a connection with this and showing the guard that I'm willing to put the extra effort in. So I don't know what you're talking about, you weird devil-looking guy.
Can I
Damn.
improvise the manacles
I deserve that.
of the dead people into some sort of better than hand tool?
Sure you can.
Using
can make
metal
it
to scrape.
Advantage.
Yay!
Are we gonna make rolls to dig the hole?
You absolutely are. Make athletics rolls.
Athletics.
Oh no, this is
No.
not.
My tiny body isn't meant for.
My character
Running.
skipped gym class.
Yeah, we all
He,
skipped gym class.
he used a note.
Oh no.
So we have 10 on Yandos, 3 on Tinkerer,
That's not very good.
12 on Jukalavir,
Jukalvir.
that, and 11 on our good old friend Percival.
I wrote the phonetic down. It's fine.
You guys look like you're really trying. Really not making a lot of fast progress. You definitely aren't the strongest bunch. If you
I think I
went to
broke a
gym class, you would definitely be picked last. You're the kid that nobody wants on their team.
Hey, I can throw a ball.
Yeah, sure you can. And after about half an hour, 45 minutes, you guys get about 1 foot down. The orc kind of looks good enough. Put him in.
Okay.
Okay.
Let's toss these 2 pieces of garbage in there.
We dragged the body. I dragged
I-
the bodies in.
Check to see their pockets as we're pushing them in. See if perhaps they had something on their person.
Sure, make an investigation roll.
Can I check their
As Juke
personal
runs up
pockets,
and starts
aka
tugging
their
on
buttholes?
the big one.
I'm
looking for,
totally
something
helping.
good. The small gnome.
Oh, 25.
You find-
Nat 20.
Pocket lint.
Sweet. Pocket
A
lint.
whole lot of pocket lint.
I'm
Did
going
you,
to use all of that.
Did you check their human pockets?
No.
Can I?
Are there? Sorry. Go ahead.
Can I do a little investigation myself?
Sure. I
Did
will
it-
say, though, as our first natural 20, Juke has officially found out there's nothing to find on these people.
I can't detect if any magic was in play with their
They don't even
axe
got,
killing
like-
them.
Oh no, this pocket lint isn't.
You want to
magic.
investigate their death, basically? See, just investigate the bodies in general, less looking for something, looking for context clues? You can do that.
I just like to be around the freshly killed bodies of other creatures. Is that so weird in this world?
I'm sure it has a rich backstory that we don't need to know about.
That's
Go ahead
my
and make
point.
an investigation roll.
Okay.
It's not creepy at all. Not creepy at all.
Can I make a roll to see if our things are made, their clothes are made out of fleece at all? Any fleece around?
No. It's very obvious that a human and a half-orc are not made of fleece.
No, I mean their clothes. Our clothes. What of our prison clothes or whatever?
Oh, okay. Yes, you can make a roll for that.
I was gonna say, yeah. Do they have like a belt?
They're not sheep people.
I'd like
Sheep
to skin
people.
them, please.
I would like some fleece, okay? Get off my back.
So your investigation roll of 8 yields nothing useful. These guys were killed with axes thrown by that big dude holding your chains. And your insight of 8 yields nothing useful.
I got what I wanted.
Our clothes are not made out of fleece.
Clothes are probably made out of clothing. From what I understand, cloth
Like
is just
cotton.
a form of woven cloth.
No one brought a nice fleece jacket or anything. A nice sweater.
So with that amazing 25, I find nothing of usefulness that you say, but I think
Yes.
shoelaces and a belt are useful.
You can take those.
Are you gonna be shooting up when we get in there? To
None
forget
of your
about
damn
problems?
business.
Go ahead and add laces to a belt to your anal inventory.
I'm not sticking it in my butt. I'm tying the belt around my waist. And the shoelace...
It's a little hugely too big for you. It wraps around about 3 times.
Cool. I look like I'm from Final Fantasy then.
You're probably small enough where you could swallow that shoelace and then floss.
Okay. Actually, I can probably wear the leather belt as
Clean
like,
out those intestines.
like an over the arm, over like my entire body, like wrapping instead of as a belt.
Disgusting. You people disgust me. All right, continuing on.
Very dirty.
I like your fashion ideas.
After
I'm
you are
just gonna
now
be a little dejected
belted and
now.
laced up like just some cool, edgy guy that you are. One of you looking dejected, one of you looking asleep. You are escorted back into the cart. Gate closes, doors close, and there's now 2 open spots where there were once 2 filled spots. As 2 bodies are filled in a foot of dirt. And by the way, the half-orc was sticking out. It was definitely lumped up on top of him.
Yeah.
What happened to those 2 guys again? Oh, right, the axes. Yeah, sorry.
Yeah. That.
Very disturbing.
Old man.
Yeah, it was...
Let's just decide maybe not to try and escape anymore.
I like
As
living.
much as I would love not to be here, it seems like it's not working out for us. Maybe, yes.
I
no?
think I have maybe one more trick up my sleeve. That don't worry,
At this
it won't
point,
involve us running.
I
or
could give you
anything.
300 reasons why you should not do that.
All right, I won't.
I was gonna say at this point,
I'm
Duke.
going to.
At this point, Duke takes that belt that he took and uses it to try to smack Eondos from the other side of the cart. See?
make a melee attack
Belt has a use. I told you.
with your improvised weapon, so you would not be proficient in belt unless I guess you for some reason are very proficient in belt.
Don't have that feat. Well, let's see. Does a belt count as a?
No,
Damn it!
counts as a belt.
A whip.
All right. Strength or dex?
This would be, I assume, since you're just going for hit him, I
Yeah.
would go for dex because it's kind of a range.
Okay.
You're using it at reach. I'll call it a finesse weapon.
Ooh.
Go ahead and
21.
roll me
That
nothing.
definitely hits me.
What is your dexterity modifier, if you don't mind saying?
Mine
Yes.
is a +3.
You do 4 points of damage as it whips him across the
Oh,
face.
what?
Wha-cha! Stop it! I like to
don't
live.
think you understand where we're going. We're going to a place that's basically worse than death anyways.
Nope, I get to breathe.
We don't know that, though, because if we don't go, we'll die for sure.
Yeah.
I don't
I like-
know about you. I
Alright,
like to
alright.
breathe.
Yeah, I
Alright.
agree with Tip.
Thank
I
you.
won't I won't try anything else.
Okay. Out of game. Are you going to try something else?
Oh yeah, definitely.
Okay. What is your plan so we can set that up and make that happen real quick? As the cart
I'm
continues
just
to
going
go,
to
and about
the
an
next
hour or two
time,
passes.
it'll come into action the next time we see that we stop for peepees and poo-poos and see the giant half orc again.
Well, you lucked out. There is one last stop for peepees and poo-poos, as it's about halfway through the next day. After the next morning, you guys pull over. You're let out of the cart. Doors open. Big guy brings you out. Chains you to the outside. Just kind of gives you the old...
I'm going to use my.
Actually, wait, hold on, damn it. Sorry.
Go ahead.
Can I awkwardly shamble over to that tailed freak and ask him something? Whisper a little something in his
Absolutely.
ear?
Go for it.
All right. Should I send it to him in a message or say it to him right now out loud?
I'll tell you what. Everybody make a perception check. You two make perception checks. And if you're trying to keep it hidden from them, make a stealth roll.
Okay.
Because we are attached by several feet of chain, so we can't get that far from each other.
I think you might as well just say it out loud, and you guys can pretend you didn't hear it if they don't hear it.
So I want you two to put your fingers in your ears because you don't hear anything.
Or I could take off my headphones.
You could do that.
Yeah. Ooh.
I'll give you the double thumbs up when it's time to put them back on.
Okay, ready?
Go for it. They have taken
man.
out their headphones.
All right. Is the only two tall guys here? I want to let you in on a possibility that I can help out your plan here, Tailman. I can see these chains here. They're made of a thing that we humans call metal. I have the power to possibly heat it up. It might burn us horribly, but we could also possibly melt at least the chains, and then get our tall asses out of here. What do you think about that, guy?
Well, my plan just involves well,
You were gonna blow a guard, weren't you? That was your plan.
What is going on with my plan is just to use my telepathy to try and get this guard to do something.
But don't you think it would help if we also if we had melty chains to melty chains?
Yeah.
I'm going to have them come back in now.
Okay.
Okay, well,
Thumbs up
so
is waving.
I'll give you
Apparently,
a thumbs up.
Juke
to
suffers from
to do the
tinnitus,
thing
and he's like,
that you're
"Ah."
gonna do.
"Ma."
And then I'm going to use my telepathic abilities to talk to the half-orc in his head. And I'm going to try and disguise my voice and go, "This is God speaking. He commands you to release these prisoners. Yes, the one standing right next to you right now. Those prisoners.
Which god?
This is the golden griffin speaking. He commands you. These prisoners are going to do great good in the world. He commands you to release them."
Make a persuasion roll.
Can I do a deception roll? Because
Make a
I'm
deception
lying to him?
roll. Yes.
All
This is fine. Percival, are you putting your plan into action yet?
I'm waiting to see how this turns out.
I rolled a 16. A 10 plus 6, because my deception is really high. I'm very good at lying.
No.
No!
Is the half
I
orc speaking
accidentally
out
burst
loud? Like just random words? Which god?
Yes,
No.
he's speaking out loud. He kind of
Guys, I
turns
think
and
he's
scratches
crazy.
his head. Yeah, no. Why? What? No.
Huh? Did you say something? Did you say something?
No.
Okay.
Well, your plan seemed to go to hell pretty fast. I'm gonna go ahead and ignore my instincts and not do my plan after seeing how badly yours turned out. So all of that,
Are
all
you
that
sure?
secrecy was.
I
mean,
can tell you
didn't
it'd be
hear my
really
telepathic
funny for me.
Conversation. He just said no, and I look at you and I go. I shake my head. And,
Eyes wide, head shaking.
I was expecting a little more action, a little less conversation, a little more action here.
I get it.
I mean, last time I did action, I got slapped really hard in the face.
Well, I'm gonna go take an action and take a deuce over here, and then get back in that damn carriage.
You drop
You
a
go
nice
on somewhere
dry old man
before you
toozy.
just yank on the chain.
Come on,
As
you guys.
he grabs you by the chain, yanks you back into the cart, chucks you all in. Gates close. That is your last stop.
Jim, can I make
As finally, go ahead.
Can I make a, I guess, history check to know if my guild would have contacts in this prison?
Yeah.
Okay.
Go for it.
So, history. An 11.
It's possible, but you don't know any by name, and you can't recall anybody that you know have gone there. But it's definitely a possibility.
I mean, I'm real important. Air quotes.
You look like it.
Oh yeah.
So finally, you guys reach your destination. As the cart stops, the gates open this time, but as you get out, you're in the middle of this huge courtyard. As you look around, you see this almost castle-like citadel built over the side of a mountain. You can just take that in for a second as the guard looks at you sightseeing, gently
Lovely.
grabs the chain, and yanks you over
Ugh.
and grabs you and starts dragging you over. It looks like he's moving toward a large circle inscribed into the ground. Looks like there's a spot where it's no longer dirt and it's now marble, where there's been a magical sigil etched into the ground that's about 15 to 20 feet in circumference. It's very big. If anybody's trained in Arcana, they can make a roll to try and figure a little bit out about that. Otherwise, you guys are escorted onto there and dropped on.
I'll make a roll.
Why not?
Noticing the castle up there, like, oh, maybe I can get a room with a view.
I rolled
You know
an
this
18.
10.
is a teleportation circle, but the one thing you realize is it's got a lot of different destinations. Usually they go from like one place to another. This is kind of just like somewhere random on a list of like 50 or more different possible areas to go. Not sure where it's going to lead you. As he goes in, the half-orc takes your chain, chains it to a little spiky thing in the middle that lets him chain it to. I can't think of the word. A hook. There we go. A hook in the middle, so you guys can't escape. He backs up, and before leaving, he looks at you and just goes, "Don't move," and walks away. And sits back as two people walk up. They look like they're clad in robes, and they start chanting. As they start to chant, one of the guards comes over. He goes, "1 second." He walks over and he bumps into, and he grabs the dwarf, reaches him by the scruff, and he just looks at him in the face. And make perception rolls.
He's grabbing Tinkerer, right?
Tinkerer, yes.
That's me.
Whoa!
Juke, you see him as he pulls him up. It looks like he slides something under his shirt.
That's my
I
second
saw
nat 20 today,
nothing.
guys. That means I'm rolling nothing but ones from my on.
Percival, you do not see that, unfortunately.
I do not see. I rolled a 2.
Yondos
I rolled a
rolled
3,
2.
and my perception is -1. I accidentally blinked really long.
And he
Sand
throws you back onto the ground. You now have something under your little shirt area. I think you know what it is already.
It's his chest. That's what it's
And they start chanting. As they start chanting, the sigils in the ground start to light up. Magic start to coalesce.
I clench.
Swirls. Sound. It almost sounds like the whirling wind starts to kind of kick in around you and start swirling. After about a minute or so, it's a nice breeze. After about 5 minutes, it's almost like a cone of this air. And after about 10 minutes, you guys are almost stuck in this roaring tornado of glowing light as suddenly you blink out. You blink into existence. You are in a dark prison cell. And you can hear the dripping of water from afar.
Great.
And we're all together still? Or we
You're all
separate
chained
cells?
together
Well,
even. You're all
good
in the
thing.
you're all in the same room. Looks like the door, now that you're asking, is closed. Looks like there's a small window on it, but the door is mostly solid. And it's everybody that was in the circle. So you 4 and the other 2 that were in your caravan. You guys are all still chained together too.
Is there any light
All
in here?
6 of us, or just the 4 of us are chained, right?
You 4 are chained together, but the 2 that are with you are also there and also chained together.
Is there
good
any light
thing
at all?
we didn't try and escape.
There's a little bit of light poking through the window.
I like it here. I think I'll get some real thinking done.
Right.
Hopefully.
And after a second, the dripping water, you notice, stops. And kind of all sound just kind of blanks out. As a shadowy figure comes out from like a corner of the room. You're not really sure where he stepped out from. So, we've got new visitors.
That was a weird voice change.
Yeah.
Uh,
Can I roll to see if
hello.
I'm turned on? Oh.
You can roll to see if you're turned on when we come back.
Toggle Advantage is a production by Two Tall Brothers. If you like this, like and share. Like, please share. I don't even care if they're not your friends. Please subscribe and share with anyone.
Mom,
your dad,
your uncle,
your brother, definitely your brother. What? Yeah, please like and subscribe and share. Thank you.